Welcome to WhoDooTV. We are live. We're going to talk about some new comic books today, September 11th, and for September 12th, the new comic books that are coming out then. So I want to say, how is everybody doing on this great day? It is just me today. It's solo. It's Hoosier. I'm by myself. If you like comic book reviews, if you like, knowing what's coming out before they come out, the day before, talking about a little bit of chat, make sure you are subscribing and liking this, and we can go from there. Again, everybody, my name's Hoosier. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about some new comic books that happened that are coming out tomorrow. But before I get to that piece, I definitely want to be bringing up to you guys some of the interesting events that happened at Rose City Comic-Con this past weekend. Had a blast with the Bald Moose. He was there with me. Got to meet a bunch of other people there. It was great. Danny Millhouse, thanks for jumping on, man. Glad that you jumped on board. But yeah, at Rose City Comic-Con this week, got to meet a couple faiths. There was a couple of faiths there that were in some awesome, cosplay. That's what we mainly saw for any Valiant cosplay. There was tons of cosplay everywhere. It was great. John Burrowman, he had a wonderful attire at his panel, as you can see there. One of the things to call attention to is the bottom right corner, Justin Greenwood doing a commission for Chris Bald Moose, and I just love it. It was Bald Moose's or Chris's first time doing anything Valiant, and we had Chris pointed out the baseball bat on the back. I cannot see Bloodshot without that now. It kind of makes sense. It's pretty awesome. But one of the interesting events was some of the Valiant panels that happened. There was a couple Valiant panels with Victoria, who's the senior social media marketing manager. And then we had Emily, who's social media, and then Lisa Hawkins, which is one of the new editors that was brought on to Valiant from, she had worked at Marvel and been on the X-Men, worked there for quite a long time. There was times where some things were slipped during this con or during this panel, which was really awesome. We got to hear some really cool news about the upcoming Faith, because she's one of the editors that are on Faith. Led to believe that there's soon to be a Faith possible ongoing next year as well, and who's to know who's going to be on that title. Also, we know that coming soon we're going to see the Toyo Harada next year. We know Bloodshot's coming really soon, and the art from that, Ken Lashley's art, is simply amazing. You guys are going to enjoy it. It looks great. Then we also had it slip that there's going to be a Rye coming out in May. So we're going to get to know a little bit more about Rye. We're going to get back into 4002 and get Rye in May. We don't know any other details than that. We are left to believe that there. Question I asked. Because I had heard rumors that there's going to be a new book every month next year. So number one new book next year. And I tried to get more details. They kind of said they could not confirm nor deny that. That usually means yes, that's probably going to be the case. And I don't know. What do you guys want to see? What kind of books do you want to see them come out with? I think Eternal Warrior is going to come out, because they did say that Incursion is going to have a lot of Eternal Warrior with that too. So I believe we may see another Eternal Warrior in 2019. I believe we're going to see Rye. Hopefully we get Archer and Armstrong back. Something new. Maybe even some Savage. Savage would be fun to see where Savage is at and what's around the corner with Savage. So some cool thing. Danny basically, hopefully Jodie continues her run on Faith. Yes, but I'd also like to see another voice on it. She had her mini. She has another mini. She had the ongoing. She had Faith in the Future Force. I think another voice on that might be of time. So I don't know. I want to see where it goes. But of course, if Jodie's on it, I'm not complaining either. She's great. She loves Faith, and she does it justice. So whoever does it, I hope continues to do it justice. But yeah, ongoing. What other ongoings? What other books do you want to see with this? I know a Harbinger book, in my opinion, needs to come. We need to see it. Yeah, and then there was other little speculations that came out this last week with Matt Kent being at Jeff Lemire's up in Canada What project are those two on? I'm hoping it's a Valiant project. I would wonder what those two could put out as a creator-owned collaboration with the two of them. I believe that would be some amazing work. We would see some great stuff. Just the two of them, what they did with the Valiant and where that took Valiant is pretty amazing. And if even on a creator, on the two of them getting into something would be pretty spectacular. I hope that comes really soon. Another thing that was on, the worldwide Twitterverse was the Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe Twitter asked, how did you like season 1? Yes, they called it season 1. They didn't just call it Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. They did leave it at season 1. So I had put out there, and I kind of believe that it's going to be the case. Who knows? They might be wanting to do it, but it might be Bloodshot versus the Valiant Universe next, or Eternal Warrior versus the Valiant Universe next. I think they might try to continue that kind of path and try to do another series similar to what Ninjak versus. I've heard people's on both ends of Ninjak versus, but for a web series, for what it was, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think it's cool to see him in that format. But that also gives that we're going to see Bloodshot soon. Bloodshot is coming out soon. It is in the works, which is awesome. And to see what else is going. Guys over at Comic Talks Today and Nerdy Legion, they actually got to interview Dinesh. And Dinesh got to talk a lot about the movie, about what's coming out with Valiant. And the movies that are set with Harbinger are set to come out. The movies that are set with Bloodshot coming out. He left the Quantum and Woody TV show door wide open, that is to come. But there's a lot of things that are still open out there. I think that's great. So I would recommend people go look at that interview. It's on Stitcher or iTunes, but it's Comic Talk Today. It is Martin. Martin's the one who does that, and it's through Nerdy Legion podcast. Check those guys out. They do a pretty good job. But yeah, overall, the Comic-Con was great. To meet Brian Michael Bendis, which is amazing. David Mack, Michael Gatos, who's the artist with Bendis on Pearl, and that was on Alias, and that was on Jessica Jones. So it's an amazing piece there. Mike Mignola, great guy. We're going to do a quick little montage video that has him in there to feature with a bunch of different artists. Jim Mafu has done tons of Valiant covers. He's a great artist. Just a lot of people there. Christopher Sabella, Raymond Villalobos, just it was actually a fun con. I like that con a lot because it's not too big and it's not too small. It gives you enough time to have the conversation with the creators, gives you enough time to see, chat with them, and not be too swamped, too big, and not feel like it's too much. But overall, great con, loved it. There was some great stuff going on at Long Beach Comic-Con, up at Granite Falls Comic-Con, I believe is what it was. Got to see a lot of commission work. So get connected with Twitter on there, and there's a bunch of stuff on there. I probably should start sharing more of them than I do. But this week we got some pretty cool stuff in the works. And one thing we started last week was the Trade Wait No More segment of the show. And for all you Kirkman fans, Trade Wait No More for Oblivion Song Volume 1. This has been a great video. It talks about a decade ago, 300,000 in Philadelphia were suddenly lost in oblivion. So it's like an alternate dimension that just ended up being in Philadelphia, causing, like I said, the alternate dimension where they're at. And a lot of people are trapped there. And there's one person that really wants to go in there and save the day, and that is a guy named Nathan Cole. Nathan is trying to, save someone that he believes is there, and he keeps going back. And it's quite amazing story. Kirkman's taking you on. He's building up characters the way he always does. But Oblivion Song #1 is one of the first trades. The second trade to call out is one that I loved the first volume. It's one I'm trade waiting for myself, and that is Elsewhere Volume 2. So this is the Elsewhere Amelia Earhart world, where she's got a Corvathian ally named Court. And their job is to try to find the port that leads them from this mystical world they're in back to Earth. and it has connection with DB Cooper and a lot of different cool history connections within it. I loved it. Volume 1, we did a trade out. Trade review of Volume 1. It hasn't came out yet, still in editing, but it's coming soon. I loved this story. I thought it was a fun story. There's lots of directions it could go, but it's really kind of cool the way it is. So Danny says he asked Jeff if it was a Valiant on Twitter, and they said it wasn't, but still excited to see what they have. Oh, so he's talking about the Jeff Lemire and Matt Camp project. So thanks for sharing that, Danny. I'm still excited for it. Those two guys, great. So I'm going to give it up for them. Then let's get into another segment that I want to pull up now, that's going to start up now, that I'm going to be doing, and that is just calling out the number ones. A publisher that has been putting out some amazing work recently has been Aftershock. They have been doing some good stuff with, Donny Cates's Baby Teeth is one of them, for instance. Another one we'll talk here in a moment, but the first one we're going to talk on is Mouth and Whisper. So this is a new series written by Ted Anderson. So you may know him from his My Little Ponies. Maybe not. But, a totally different realm than what direction he had been going. Jen Hickman's on it. She's done The Dead. I think that Aftershock is doing some awesome books, and any other number ones are worth getting into. Just kind of see what direction they may take somebody on. And then one that I'm the most excited for number ones this week is going to be The House of Whispers. This is a continuation of the Sandman universe. So it's an all-new corner of this to be added to Neil Gaiman's Sandman universe. And it's, just look at the page. It looks like horrific. Altogether, anything with the Sandman universe is something I'm getting into. I don't know if you guys have read the Sandman, like the one that came out like a month ago, and where everything else that's coming out with it. Last week was Dreaming, I believe, was the one that came out with it. Dreaming number 1 came out last week. So Sandman number 1 is bringing quite a bit. Sandman universe is bringing quite a bit to the table now. That we're getting a little change there. Another number 1, and this is going to be from Marvel, is Iceman number 1. Iceman's back, and which is good because he's someone that is a huge piece. Bobby Drake. He's trying to prevent a mutant massacre here in this issue. And I love Iceman. I love anything X-Men. They're always there. And I'm glad they're coming back. So haven't got continued reading X-Men for a while, but the fact that they're still there. My number 1 of the week is going to be Cemetery Gates. This is not Pantera Hoosier. This is Cemetery Beach by none other than Warren Ellis and Jason Howard. So these guys did Trees together. And they're currently being adapted to television. And so this is something completely different. So if you are a fan of Warren Ellis, it is something that you probably want to get into. A brand new book, Image title, coming out. Danny basically says, he mentions another Aftershock book, which was Animosity. Yes, that is out. That is a great book. There's 2 parts of Animosity right now too, so coming on 2 different fronts, but I dig that. That is definitely a call out for anyone getting into it. Another one of the Aftershock books is somebody we had on the shows, Elliot Rahal. He has Hot Lunch Special. So this is like the Midwestern noir crazy series about a family that makes sandwiches for vending machines, and their tie-in with the Irish mob in just, kind of a dark tale about somewhere, nowhere, Minnesota, and a family on the wrong ends of the mob that does convenient sandwich making at vending machines. Number 1 was awesome, worth the read. Elliot's awesome. He does a lot of weird things, but he's worth it. Another book that I'm excited for, I got to read this one, Crowded #2, Christopher Sabella. This is the book that was optioned by Rebel Wilson. I got to talk to Christopher at Rose City Comic Con, and he says that she is just really pumped up for this. And, you know, he's just excited that it's going to allow him to keep doing the book and to keep working in more projects and not worry about where the money's coming from. Having that option, which is good. And hopefully get some more eyes on this book. But this book, again, is really, really awesome. Charlie's the main character, and she has got basically a fee over her head. She has been tapped to on the Reaper to have her head to be killed. Basically, she's got this crowdfunded source to put hits out on people, and she's got a bodyguard, and they are being attacked. And the direction that it's going, and you still don't know what's happening. Christopher's still playing with everybody's heads about why this is happening, and trying to cover up the what this crowdfunding campaign was started, why it was started, and why they're all looking out for her. What's the big deal there? Quick one to call out. We had the #1 on before, and that is Farmhand #3. This is Rob Guillory. His book, he's the guy known from Chew. And so this reminder that this is the one where the father had figured out how to harvest body parts on his farm. And it's called the Jedediah Seed. And this book kind of looks over the origins of how that Jedediah Seed came about, because it is kind of changing the way the world is. Danny called out a good book. Danny, thank you for calling out this one. Oblivion Song #7. So we talked about the trade, and now #7 is out too. So continues on this, a brand new arc, good jumping on point. I recommend getting into this and then reading that trade as well. Getting started, that's one thing people are kind of weird about where they started in their stories. I think if you start on an arc, you should be okay, and then you could go back and read the other ones. You don't need to always start right at the beginning, even though sometimes that's good. But I would recommend, getting into it. It's still early on this. It's not like getting into Walking Dead now and trying to read 100 and however many issues to get caught up. But Oblivion Song #7. Danny has a couple call outs. Anybody else that you got your pull list, make sure you're putting that down below. Want to know what you guys are reading. Danny calls out Superman #3, Birthright 31. Yes, indeed. And then another one that he's calling out is one that I knew Danny would know. This is on my pull list, and that is the Weatherman #4. Continuing with Jody LaHoop, Nathan Fox, and Dave Stewart's story about the Weatherman who basically killed a lot of people, and how this happened, why this happened, and then now why everybody's after him, and why he doesn't even know he did it. So it brings on a great journey. The first 3 issues I've actually really, really liked. I love the art, and I love the humor in the story. It's playing a great part. Danny also, it's a good call out. Fantastic Four #2. So Dan Slott's #2 issue of Fantastic Four. #1 was good. And yeah, if you're a Fantastic Four fan, that is going to be something you should go get. X-Men 23 or X-23 #4. Yep, everybody's loves. Yeah, Jesse's awesome, or not Jesse, but yes, X-23, awesome, definitely worth it. And another one to give a quick call out, because this has been, they said, a surprise hit, Wasted Space by Vault Comics. This is #5 of this. So things hit the fan in the finale to Wasted Space first arc, and then there's a major twist that's going to screw things up for Billy even more than they already are, which means we're coming back for more, baby. So there's going to be more to this arc, or more to this story of Wasted Space. It's, from everything that's been told, a huge success with Vault. Has anybody read Vault that's on this chat? Definitely put that in the comments. I want to know what you're thinking of Vault and their work that they got. I think they got some good sci-fi, horror stories that seem to be pretty fun. And then last but certainly not least is going to be the great story that Christos Gage is putting together. And no, I don't mean the new Superman on PS4. Ninja K, number 11. So this is the coalition has ended, and but we're getting to see what's going on with Glad. Can he save Glad from the dying one? The dying one has taken Glad's body, and we're hoping to get some more Eternal Warrior in this. I'm happy to see Glad back in a weird way, but I hope that it continues to come all the way around. So digging the covers on this, they look amazing. But oh yeah, where's Glad? How are they going to get Glad away from the dying one? And with Incursion being said that it's going to have a lot of tie-ins with Eternal Warrior, what does this all have to do? Where's the tie-ins is what I'm asking while you're looking at this. I have no idea. No idea, guys. But that's going to be it for today. I'm all by myself, which is all right. I appreciate anybody who joined this chat today. Thank you guys very much. Basically, make sure you are commenting what you guys are reading. I want to know, and then let us know. Come back and chat with us next week. Be looking for some more videos to come from the Rose City Comic Con that we did we were recently at this weekend, and any other late ones that I haven't edited yet that need to come out soon. But ultimately, I want to thank you guys for jumping on. Hit subscribe, hit like. You guys rock, and have a great week.